Yo, what's up, Danny, Brandon, Ryan, and Victorious? It's your man Legend, the best what if YouTuber on the platform, and I'm back with another video. What if Naruto was a failed experiment part 9? Trust me, it's about to go crazy in this video. If you vibing with the content and you want more, I'm gonna need you to slam that like button very aggressively. Hit it with the energy, with the passion. Hit it like you're trying to unlock Ultra Instinct or something. And if you want to join the Legend family, then I'm gonna need you to go and slide up and smash that sub button as well. You already know how we do it over here. Like goal is gonna be 8 likes as always. But if we beat that, that would be nice. That means we leveling up. Now, let's run the intro so we can get into exactly why you clicked on this video. Naruto had never set foot in a sushi restaurant before, and Temari found his wide-eyed curiosity nothing short of adorable. The two of them sat across from each other in a small booth by the window, warm lantern light bathing the table in a soft amber glow. Outside, the gentle hum of Konoha drifted in from the street vendors calling out, children laughing, the steady rhythmic footsteps of shinobi going about their evening patrols. Inside, the restaurant held a calm bustle, clinking dishes, low chatter, the occasional sizzling sound from the kitchen when fresh meat met the hot iron. Temari hadn't meant for this to turn into a date. She really hadn't. She was just hungry. But the moment they sat down and she realized how natural it felt being across from him, how comfortable, how easy, she made no attempt to correct the situation. Naruto said something, a quiet, unintentional joke that he wasn't even sure counted as humor, yet Temari let out a short laugh anyway, a real one. She covered her mouth, shaking her head. "You're something else, Naruto," she murmured, trying and failing to wipe the smile off of her lips. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed, but pleased. His blue eyes sparkled in the lantern light. They made small talk as they waited for their food to arrive. Temari leaned forward slightly, elbows on the table, chin resting against her hand, in an almost teasing show of interest. Her eyes, sharp and assessing, wandered over Naruto with open curiosity. "So Naruto," she began, "what rank are you in the shinobi system? Genin, Chunin, something higher?" Naruto hesitated, not from shame, but from uncertainty. He wasn't used to explaining himself. "Honestly," he said, glancing down at his hands, "I'm not even a genin. I wasn't in the village long enough to join the academy." Temari straightened slightly, her teasing look fading. Naruto continued quietly. "I was with Orochimaru, going through a lot, and dealing with a lot. Orochimaru trained me at first, then he stopped. Then he wanted me dead." He shrugged lightly, as if trying to minimize the horror in his own words. "Before he could, the base was raided. They brought me back here. I didn't remember my mom or dad. They thought I was dead until I showed up again." Temari stared at him, stunned. She hadn't expected a simple question to open a door to something so heavy, so raw. The look in Naruto's eyes wasn't self-pity, it was quiet acceptance, something far heavier. Before she could ask anything else, plates clattered softly onto the table. Their food had arrived. Naruto blinked in surprise, Temari in relief, but the weight of his words lingered between them like a cold draft. Meanwhile, Sakura Haruno slipped out of the shinobi archives with a small frown, brushing dust from her hands. She had searched every folder she could get across every scroll, every report, even medical logs, but there was almost nothing on Naruto. Everything about him after the age of 4 was blank, classified into oblivion. She was still thinking about that when she spotted Ino standing outside a sushi restaurant, arms crossed, brows knitted into an irritated frown. Ino? You okay? What are you doing here? Sakura asked. Ino didn't look at her immediately. She sensed Sakura before she even arrived. Finally, she turned, placing one hand gently on Sakura's cheek. Direct contact, soft, unthreatening. Hey, Sakura, she said sweetly. What are you doing here? As Sakura began speaking, Ino's chakra slipped effortlessly into her mind. A quiet brush, subtle and expertly hidden. Sakura didn't feel a thing. In seconds, Ino sifted through Sakura's surface thoughts. She hummed softly, then found something annoying. Sakura was dating Sasuke, but she also had the beginnings of a crush on Naruto. Ino nearly rolled her eyes. Of course. She withdrew her hand before Sakura noticed anything unusual. Then she grabbed Sakura's wrist. Come eat with me, Ino said. We haven't talked in a while. Before Sakura could protest, Ino pulled her inside the restaurant. Her eyes instantly landed on Naruto and the pretty, blonde San Konoichi sitting across from her. Ino's smile tightened. Oh look, she said lightly. It's Naruto. She dragged Sakura straight toward their table. Naruto froze when he saw them, face flushing pink. Hey, Ino, Sakura. This is Temari. She's from the Hidden Sand. Temari assessed Ino with a Konoichi's instinct and felt a chill slide down her spine. Something about the girl was dangerous. She reached under the table for her war fan out of pure reflex before stopping herself. Ino smiled politely, but her eyes gave nothing away. Temari cleared her throat. Nice to meet you. I've seen you in the bingo books. B-rank Konoichi like myself. They shook hands. Ino's grip was feminine, light, but Temari could feel the hidden strength beneath it. Ino knew Temari knew, and Temari knew Ino knew that she knew. Ino was no B-rank Konoichi. Both girls smiled. Ino tilted her head, voice honey sweet. So, what's your relationship with Naruto-kun? Temari straightened, eyes sharpening. At the moment, we're getting to know each other. If we like each other, I'll have permission from his parents to take his hand in a union. Both girls smiled. Both girls glared. Naruto and Sakura were utterly lost. Okay, Sakura finally muttered, dragging Ino back by the wrist. But the tension hung in the air like a drawn blade. Temari knew. She could feel it. She could even sense it on Ino. That girl, she's a yandere, and her claim is on Naruto. 45 minutes had passed since Ino stormed out of the restaurant, but the anger pulsing through her veins hadn't cooled at all. If anything, the walk with Sakura and the painfully awkward meal they had shared only made it worse. She stabbed a piece of meat with her chopsticks earlier, barely tasting anything, her mind replaying the same infuriating thoughts over and over. Kushina and Minato really think they can just hand off Naruto like some prize, like he's something to give away. Her jaw tightened until she felt tension in her temples. And then Temari. Some outsider, some foreign Konoichi from the desert who thought she could step into Konoha, charm her Naruto, date him, maybe even marry him, and actually survive the attempt, the audacity. The very thought made something dark and irrational coil in Ino's chest. Ino! She blinked and snapped out of her thoughts as Sakura waved a hand in front of her face. Huh? Sakura shook her head with a dramatic sigh as they continued walking. You're scowling. You know, it'll make you uglier than you already are, right? Ino scoffed loudly. Joke or not, Sakura and that enormous forehead had absolutely no room, none at all, to talk about looks. But she didn't bother responding. Sakura wasn't worth the breath right now. Sakura kept talking, completely convinced Ino was listening. Something about a sale at a shop. Then something about training. Then something else that Ino couldn't care enough to decode. Slowly, deliberately, Ino began falling behind. One step, then another, her pace easing until Sakura unknowingly pulled several feet ahead, and in the next second, she vanished in a silent body flicker. Sakura continued speaking for several long steps before she realized there was no one beside her. Ino reappeared in front of Temari's hotel, breath steady, expression carved from something sharp and dangerous. Her anger had crystallized into purpose, cold, focused, and increasingly reckless. She walked through the front entrance without hesitation. The woman behind the desk greeted her politely, unaware of the danger standing in front of her. Ino didn't waste a second. She reached over the counter, grabbed the woman by the face with a firm but controlled grip, and pressed her index finger to the woman's temple. There was no time for finesse. Ino dove into the woman's mind, sifted through memories with ruthless efficiency, names, numbers, rooms, assignments, schedules. She scanned everything she needed in mere moments. Her expression didn't change, not even once. Then, she wiped the last 10 seconds of the woman's memory, released her, and watched her slumped unconscious into the chair. Ino walked away without looking back. She knew the exact room Temari was staying in now, the exact hallway, the exact floor. Her heartbeat didn't speed up. Her breathing didn't change, but her steps grew quieter, sharper. This wasn't the careful, composed Ino people saw in public. This was something or someone unraveling, and she didn't care. Elsewhere in the village, Tsunade was dealing with her own disaster. The moment she realized the chemical compound had spilled across her lab coat sleeve, she tore at the buttons with frantic urgency. She flailed, fighting against the stubborn fabric until it finally came free, and she threw it aside before it could melt into her skin. Shit, move! She ripped off her white pants next, then her gloves, then the glasses. The burning sensation seeping through the fabric told her she had seconds left before real damage occurred. She sprinted for the emergency shower, slapped the lever down, and the warm sterilization water blasted over her. Steam filled the glass enclosure. The harsh chemical smell began to fade. She exhaled shakily, relief forming in her chest until the overhead speakers crackled. Full room decontamination in 3, 2, 1. Her blood froze. No! A heartbeat later, a controlled burst of flames came from the vents in the walls and ceiling. Fire roared to life around her lap benches, flooding across the surfaces where her samples, notes, and partial formulas lay. Her her progress, her hope. Gone. She slammed a hand against the glass. Damn it! The fire burned intensely for several seconds before shutting off, leaving charred surfaces, melted containers, and scorched instruments behind. The glass around the emergency shower retracted with a soft hiss. Tsunade stepped out slowly. Her bare feet touched a warm tile, and she surveyed the remains of her lab. The ashes, the warped metal, the blackened corners. She wasn't even close to replicating Naruto's medication, but she had made enough progress that, for the first time, a small flicker of optimism had appeared in her chest. Now, that flicker had been stamped out. She swallowed hard, her throat tight. Damn it, she whispered. And for a moment, she looked like she may cry. Across the village, Naruto and Temari walked side by side through the peaceful streets, the fading sunlight painting everything in warm colors. Their steps were slow, relaxed, unhurried. For once, Naruto wasn't forcing a smile. He genuinely looked content. Temari did too. They walked until they reached the front of her hotel. Both of them stopped, unsure how to end the evening. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck. So, I guess this means it's over for today. Temari nodded, though she looked like she didn't want it to be. Yeah. A few seconds of quiet stretched between them. Then Temari stepped closer and kissed him softly on the cheek. Naruto's eyes widened just a bit as warmth spread across his face. I actually enjoyed my time with you, she said. Naruto stared for a moment, flustered, then smiled. Me too. They began walking away from each other until Temari suddenly stopped and turned. Hey Naruto, she called. Do you wanna come up to my room? He froze, thinking it over. There was no hesitation in her eyes, just boldness. Naruto slowly nodded. Together they walked inside, through the lobby, up the stairs, down a quiet hallway. Everything felt natural, even a little exciting. Then they reached Temari's door. She stopped abruptly. Naruto frowned. Temari? What? Her eyes narrowed. She didn't answer him. Instead, she crouched down and stared at the floor near her door. A lone toothpick lay directly in front of it. Naruto blinked, confused. Temari's expression darkened. Flashback. Temari finished brushing her teeth that morning, slid a toothpick between her lips, grabbed her war fan, and headed for the door. Before closing it behind her, she took the toothpick from her mouth and set it gently on the top of the door frame. A trick she learned young, silent, simple, effective. If the door opened while she was gone, the toothpick would fall. End of flashback. Naruto's eyes widened as realization kicked in. Someone had been in her room. Temari pushed him back, eyes cold and sharp. Change of plans. She grabbed his wrist firmly. We're going to your house, Naruto. But guys, I want to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. Remember, the like goal for this video was going to be 8 likes. But if we could get more, that would be really fire. But without further ado, I am out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed, y'all.